And welcome back to Career Build Series, episode 205. And so, I started working on this in a live stream. This is my large seaplane that I'm working on. So, I thought we'd do a little bit of building in this video. And so, we'll go ahead and, as you can see, I've done quite a bit of work. If you'd like to kind of catch up on the build, you can watch that live stream. I'll link that. Um, haven't done too much outside of that. I put some pivots in the pontoons to kind of do the buoyancy glitch, at least for now. I added these big hips here. This is where my landing gear is going to hide. So working on that. I powered the landing gear just so I can go test it, do some float testing. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to delete that right now. And so I think the next thing I want to do is, so a big element of this and why I started building this, if you look inside here, we have a couple containers. And so this is going to hold two containers. And so either containers, or it will also be able to hold some vehicles or whatever I want to put in there. And so one of the things I need to kind of see is I need to check the viability of this. And so one of the things I'm going to do is a thought I have is I want to be able to ground load this. So what I think I'm going to do is clamshell these front doors. And so essentially make these two bottom sections clamshell doors, and then have a gantry crane system that will come out and drop the container down. So I need a way to be able to load vehicles and load containers. And so I'm going to start with that. So what I want to do here is, this is about where my gantry crane is going to come out right here. So I need to find where this is. And so the gantry crane is going to ride out. And so I need these rails to be able to do it. So let's actually pink up some blocks here just so I know. Pink blocks let me know if I need to delete something or not. So I'm kind of trying to find where I'm at here. Okay, that I can't delete. And so just kind of start chipping away at this and see where I come out. And so right here appears to be where I'm coming out. So this right here is going to be where the clamshell needs to go. All right, and so I know that now. So let's go ahead and let's cut a door out of this. And so there's a lot of testing here, and that's why I kind of want to start here, is I need to check buoyancies. Oh, where am I at? I need to check buoyancies. I need to check, make sure I'm not adding too much drag, all sorts of things like that. And so I kind of need to see where I'm at completely here for this. And so just checking where my clamshell doors will go. I think right there maybe. So I'm going to start by cutting this. All right. And then I'm just going to go to the other side here, and this one will need to be, does it need to be one wider? It does not. All right, so this one's going to take one extra block, so something needs to accommodate that block. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that. All right, I'm actually going to, we'll get these rotating here. All right. So let's look at these. So it's important for me to make sure this works early. So these two are going to clamshell open. And so one thing I also want to check is, I probably actually want to clamshell more. I probably want to come back all the way here because I need to be able to load in. So let's go ahead and let's actually do that. So I also don't want them to hit the propellers. Yeah, so see, they'll hit here, so they do need a clamshell all the way to the back here. All right, so I think what I'll do is I will cut the angle here. So let's do that. I'm just kind of seeing how I'm going to cut these out and make these work for me. So again, just getting my angles right and how these have to operate. So I can go in one. There we go. So let's go ahead and cut this. All right. And did I just cut something I didn't want to do? I did. Okay. Let's bring that back. Let's look at it again. Now let's cut it. All right. And let's go ahead and paste this. All right. And so we'll cut this one here. So I just want some continuity on these blocks. And then I want to get this door kind of working. All right, so let's grab, I shouldn't have done that. That's all right. I'll just do it again. It's not a big deal. I just need to kind of re-grab. All right, so now I'm going to move this over to here. And we'll cut that. All right, and then I need to cut this block here. All right, and so this is a big part of it just to make sure all of this works properly. So this is going to go to, just do it from the inside, be easier. There. And actually, I need to cut more. So let's go ahead. I can delete this section here. This little, that's just, need to keep an eye on this too. Some of this, what is going on here? There we go. All right, so one of the reasons why I have it set up like this is if you notice here we have tracks. So I need to, let's put my tracks in because that's going to actually inform me where the end of this can be. Okay, there, and then this can actually stay. Can it? No. Okay. So let's undo that. Okay, that's going to have to go. What is this? Can this stay? No, I want that to go. So here's going to be where my track section. So these are going to be grippers. And let's just go back to white blocks here for now. And so because the bottom of the containers are track sections, I need grippers to be able to lock these in. So symmetry is mercifully on. Excellent. And so I'm going to put my gripper tracks in. This tells me how high this has to be. All right, good. So that's there. All right, so those are in there, and that kind of informs me where that needs to go. Let's, right, that's going there. What's this? So I'm trying to figure out, I need to look at my colors. So like this needs to be red, and this is going to be the end of the door section here. So this needs to all from here to there, and the grippers need to cut, paste, paste. And so this is going to take a bunch of work to get this door to function properly and hopefully seal. It may not work. I may have to scrap this idea, but that's where we're at least. All right, so these doors are going to clamshell. So let's make sure that's one unit there. And then let's make sure this is one unit here. All right. And so I'm going to go ahead and we'll put some... trying to think how I want to do this. Hinges maybe. Hinges might be simplest, beefy looking. Let's do that for now. So what's a hinge? A 3-piece? Hinges are 3s, so let's hinge. And then I forget which direction these turn, but we will learn soon enough. Okay, that's going to go there, and then this one here is, so as you can see, I've overcut this side, something fierce. So I overcut this, so I'm going to fix this, so. And we'll check the color, and we'll merge that back to the hull, and then this one here, cut this, paste it, and we'll merge that to the hull. So there we go. So we have our 2 doors. Let's go ahead and we'll just throw a quick throttle on there. And I'll stick it here for now, logic, and we'll grab this and go to the 2 hinges. Make sure they're turned in the correct direction. All right. All right, that one's not merged. Okay. I need to merge that. So this is going to be interesting to try to seal this. And so that's where we really could run into problems. And so I need to test this early because Again, I want to test all the elements of my build that may not work to get those out of the way. And if they don't work, I can kind of come up with a new plan. So as you can see, that actually works perfectly. This I need to merge that. Okay, something's bunged up with this, so let's fix that. All right, let's check. So this one has all the elements that it needs. This one is, this piece here needed to be cut and merged. All right, good. So that is there. And then I'm gonna just seal these holes in here just so that I don't act inadvertently if I go try to do a swim, that I don't cause problems. All right, so let's open these doors up. All right. So these two doors open up. Propeller's in the way. They don't need to open up 100%. Let's go to 50%. That's a 45-degree angle for the gulls. That works for me. We're going to have our gantry crane come out here. This part here should be attached to the doors. That should be the end of the inboard section there. So I'll do that. But that works pretty well. So let's go ahead and let's grab this. Just trying to check some other things here while I'm at it. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll set this to, instead of 1, we'll do 0.5. We don't need it to go all the way. We'll look inside here. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just delete these. This will be quicker and easier than me trying to cut them. And so let's take off symmetry. And so this side here will go to there. And then this side here will go to there. Check the colors. Those are matched now. Let's try opening it up again. And so I'll also put some ramps in there that will allow me to, load some vehicles in there. So there we go. It's splayed open, and now we can get at that. Now, this often happens with these type of clamshell doors. You have to accommodate for this section here. These little diamonds. And so what I think I'm going to do is, let's do this. Trying to think the best way to do that. Let's do this. Let's try to get a little bit more angle on the doors before we work with that. So this here, these are not merged. I'm going to merge these up really quick. These are just falling out when I don't attach them. So, all right, so those are now attached. We can kind of see better. So let's go ahead up to 0.75. Let's see how this clamshell works now. All right, so that's clipping. Let's do this. So let's check where this is merged. So let's grab more of this. I think I was kind of hoping to not do these upper sections anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is actually keep these upper sections where I wanted them. So let's go ahead and cut that, paste it. Let's go ahead and grab this side here, cut that, paste that, and let's merge these back to the main body. And let's kind of keep that the way it is. So let's spawn that again. So again, it's going to have a gantry crane that will drop it down, so I don't really need that to open as much. There we go, and it accommodates the propeller better that way. All right, so that I think is our new door design. So I need to now make sure that I have enough buoyancy in my nose, because that whole section is not going to hold buoyancy. So I need to make sure that it does hold buoyancy. And so both these sides are going to need to be buoyant volumes. And so I want them as much buoyancy as I want. This could add a lot of lag, But again, I play mostly in single player, so it's not a huge deal to me. So I'm going to add these. See if I can do it in. Probably not. Now it's going to screw it up if I try to do it like that. Let's keep it on one side. So, by using wedges, it's going to give me the most amount of buoyancy. Um, you know, it has to render all this, so it's not really super friendly. But again, I want to test this, and I don't want to have to launch it 5 times and then go back and do this. I'd rather, if this works, I can, and then I can test it, the other way. If it doesn't work, I have to start over anyway, so I kind of want to get to that start over point earlier if need be. And so what this is doing is these 2 clamshell doors, they need to have enough air in there to actually create buoyancy, because I don't want to lose the buoyancy that I had when they were, when they were together. And so this sort of thing can also upset center of gravity and all sorts of other things. So getting this into a test is imperative sooner than later. And that's why we're doing it now. Is, there are other things I want to do. I want to sculpt the tail. I want to put like a cool little bubble in the back where you can kind of walk down and look out the windows in the tail. But this is really priority 1, is make sure that my nose section works, because that's going to be a big feature of this, is that. So around these hinges, I need to seal those. So that's going to be something to do as well. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to simply do wedge in the corner here, and then this one here, I can do one of these. Like so. Yeah, we'll see how ugly this turns out. I think it'll be all right. A little bit of a concern of that, but we will see how it turns out here. Let me just, for now, I'm just going to cut this into a square block. You know what I'll do? I'll do it like this. I was kind of contemplating wedges anyway. We'll wedge that, and then this way I can just carry these over. Again, this is giving me the most amount of fluid volume. If I put a meter in there by doing these half blocks, it gives me the most amount of fluid. And so air is a fluid, and air gives us buoyancy. So the more space we can put air in there, the more buoyancy we're going to have, and the fewer problems we have. All right, so big part of this is I want to, this video, I want to get these gull wing doors settled, essentially. I want to get them working properly. And so what I'm going to do is around this hinge, I need to really kind of build this up. All right, so around the hinge here, this whole section here. So right there where it's essentially on the hinge, I need to build that up. All right. And I want to make sure this seals properly. All right. All right, so that is now hopefully a sealed buoyant volume in there. And so I need to do the same on the other side. So a little bit tedious, but doing this right the first time will save us time in the long run. It's all a game of trying to anticipate problems and getting ahead of them. So much of it is, if you don't anticipate the problems that will come up, you're going to have to fix them later. And so, like, if I did a bunch of other design, again, part of the thing is I want to make sure this will work as intended. And the sooner I can let myself down and realize that, my initial plan is not going to work, the better. It's frustrating, but it's better to know that your idea is not going to work and to decide to do something else early than late. You get all this building and decorating, designing, you get the engines going, you get it flying, and then you realize that the main feature of this thing, which is holding containers and vehicles, and still being able to go in the water, doesn't work. Well, it's going to be very discouraging. So by getting it done now, if I realize, oh, can't do that, I could pull the plug on trying to do that feature and, do something different, Okay, that goes there, and then these will be, so again, getting as much volume in here as I can get. And I probably, would have been interesting to check the mass of this before. I have a lot of accommodation to be able to get the mass to push forward here, so the mass is sitting back a little bit, so that's fine. I also, with a build this large, it's going to be very powerful. It should have plenty of buoyancy. I can really add a lot of, I can have things like weight blocks and whatnot if I need to. Let's work around this hinge. I need to make this hinge watertight. All right. It would be convenient if I could spawn this. I could edit a workbench to be able to spawn this, but I don't want to do that right now. I want to, I've powered the wheels, so I can actually taxi out there pretty quickly. So these should be 2 sealed buoyant volumes, and that should help me. So essentially, before when these were connected, it made it so that this was all sealed volume, essentially producing buoyancy. And as soon as I cut these, they no longer produce buoyancy, and so I'm replacing that. So this upper deck here is going to need to be sealed as well. I'm just going to do this with regular block. I'm not going to bother, half blocking it at the moment. So let's actually symmetry and do that. So this is going to seal this. This is going to also give me a bunch of extra buoyancy here. Is that all sealed? We have a couple sections here could be sealed there. All right, and so hopefully that is all sealed and gives me keeps my buoyancy there. So next thing I need to do is I'm going to add my door here. So I need a door that will allow me to. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. So initially I had a different plan. What's this here? I'm going to seal this off here, just kind of preemptively seal that. So I think I'll go up with the door. Initially, I was going to go down with the door, but I think I'm going to go up. So right here. Okay, so this is already a problem. So you see the height of this. Okay, so I already have an issue here. So that's fine. Let me cut that out. The entry crane needs to go through here. So this is going to be... I need to work on this a little here. So just figuring out how to make this. So there's going to be a crane on the roof above the containers, and that's going to actually be what drops them down. I could abandon that idea and put a door system in there. Let me see how I want to do this. So this needs to be cut right here. Let's start with that. Okay, so I need to put a door in here. So let's start by doing that. Let's go ahead and... All right, and then these go... Okay, that's right there. Perfect. So let's go ahead and cut this here. Okay, that can't be cut, so that's an issue. So the door needs to be here. That's not bad. I can work with that. That can cut there. All right. So it'll be a lot of talking to myself as I try to get this door figured out. And so what I'm accommodating is I'm accommodating my door frame corners. They need to go in here. So this is, there's a little bit of a complicated design here. So I have to make sure all this works. Like, I'd like to go 1 block wider on that if I can. No, can't go there. Let's try doing it like this. We'll see if it fits in there properly. It still should fit through. That'd be fine. Let's go ahead and let's cut out all that. Let's put door frames here. Door frame edges there. Actually, I want to go hinges next. Let's go robotic door hinges. Okay. And so that goes there. And then I have a 3 section, which is good for my seal, because I need to seal this. So where's my seal? Door frame controller is my seal. That's how my door actually seals for me. That will go there, and then I need a door frame piece. Door frame edge, rather. All right, perfect. So that's there, and then let's start building the door frame. there'll be a little clipping going through, but not enough to really, I'd have to cut out this block here and have it stick out. I don't want that. So let's go ahead and just add that there. All right, so just kind of working this out here spatially. All right, and then mercifully I can, let me see, I should be able to cut into this floor here. All right, the wrong spot there. It's right above this one here, so that would be there. Okay. And that should allow me to push the crane through. All right, so I want door frame. I need an edge, and then I need a corner piece once we get up there. All right, and let's do a door frame edge right here. And so this is needed so that I can seal the door. All right, and we'll grab all of our door frame edges here. All right, good. So there's our door frame. Again, I have to clip a little bit. I'm not thrilled with clipping through, but I'd have to widen the whole craft by a block, and I'm not interested in doing that right now. Something I could fix later. It's a little bit of a clipping issue. It's going to annoy me more than probably anyone will ever notice. Like I was saying, is you notice these things when you're right up against, especially when you're building, and then something that you thought would be an absolute no-go on a build, you end up not caring about necessarily. So let's go. What do we want next? I want door panel edge. Go all the way up with these. Let's try to get viewed so I can get there. There we go. And then see if I can grab a corner. Stick the corner here. And so this is going to allow me to seal the volume. So the nose should be sealed up pretty well, and this should seal up. And so the main crux of what I want to do is I want to get this floating in the water. I can work with the crane later. I can deal with other problems and issues later. I need to make sure that this will float. Because if I can't get it to float, then this whole plan is not going to work. And I need to come to terms with that and just, do something else. But if I can get it to work, let me grab the right ones. Door frame, panel edge right there. Those go across like that. And then this is just all blocks in here. Oh, I screwed these up. Nope. Where am I at here? Okay, so this is a problem. I can hinge up. I'll do that. Okay. This is a pain. That's all right. I'm going to have to fix the bottom here. It's actually not as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. So it'll take me a second to fix this. Which way am I going here? I'm trying to see where my door panels are here. I have to delete something to see it. Oh, crap. Those are inside. That's fine. That's working fine. Okay. Just a lot of talking to myself, trying to conceptualize how this all is going to work here. Okay, so has to go like that, and then these are going to come across here. Like so. All right, and then I'm going to put the hinges at the top, and it's going to lift. So that's fine. I'm going to just delete out this. Again, that won't be a problem when this is built because the containers will slide in. Those can actually clip when they slide in. They just can't spawn in like that. All right, and then can I add the hinge? Yes, because this doesn't need to be. I'm trying to think how I have to add this. So I could put a separate crane on the door. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I need to integrate hinges, so let's grab a couple of hinges here. So this is where the complexity certainly comes in, and this can be a pain if I don't anticipate all of this and get it in correctly the first time. because I don't want to have to drive this to the water 8 times and keep playing with it. So that needs to go there, and then in one. All right. And so my door panel, go down to here. Let's cut, paste that. Let's merge this to here and this to here. And then this is fine here. These are like handles for the container. These are more controllers. Those are just going to get blocked out again. That won't be a problem once we actually start loading this with real containers. If I have to abandon the notion of doing containers in this plane, that's perfectly fine. You know, it can still transport vehicles and other cool stuff. So right here, we need to change up some of this. So that can go. This can move down. Come on, go to the right arrow that I want. Actually, thank you. And let's grab this one. Cut that. Grab the correct arrow down. All right. All right, and then these here can go and become regular blocks. So rethinking the way I have to do my crane, it's not a big deal. This here, that, and that can go. Those are going to be these corner sections here. All right, and so we just had to essentially adjust it down by 1. All right, so that should now make this door work, except for this section here needs to be replaced. So that needs to be these door panels, and then that needs to be these edges here. And so that should, yeah, these edges need to be deleted out here. That'll also give me my floor back. I won't have anything in my floor that I can't play with. So in case I want to route something through the floor, that's the wrong one. Here we go. All right. And so let's put this in here, and that should set us up, I think. All right, so we should have a sealed door here. And so that is sealed. This is a mess. I need to fix that. There we go. All right, so that should be our sealed door. That's all sealed. This will raise up. And I'll put some crane elements on that so that that can actually accommodate that. These will open. This whole area here is going to flood. And so with water, that's I could make this part of the door again, the sections I re-added. Let's try it like this, and then if we do it the other way, that will actually give us more. I'm just checking in here for any gaps of air that will cause us problems. I kind of want to seal that up. So let's try this, and we'll see how this works. You know, these can be connected later. So essentially, I want to be able to make sure this floats in the water the way it is. So it's going to be a big ask. It probably takes some playing, but let's go ahead and let's get this going here. So I set this up again, my main wheels here. Let's actually do this here really quick. Is something I want to add. So right now, you know, I have my main gear are pretty good. These are going to be replaced at some point. Crap, I can't make that work, right? Let's do this. Cut you. Cut you. Pipe. I want a T-piece enclosed. That'll go like that. And then this here will go. So I'm just adding a motor to this just to drive the back wheels as well. The front wheels, the mains drive. I want to make sure that drives as well, just to make it easy, a little easier for me to steer here. So where are we at here? WS, I think. Yep. All right. So let's go ahead and let's taxi this out. Let's stick in the water. Did a float test. It's floating well. I may have just ruined all that with all this work here, but you know, I'll see in a second. I hope I didn't cut up. Something's wrong there. door hinges aren't connected. So that would screw us up right there, and I would taxi out for no reason. So these need to be merged. There we go. All right, good catch. That would have really screwed the pooch on that one, and I would have had to come back to the workbench. So this will take a little bit of time. I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't take too long. So that needs to be backwards. Typical, typical, typical. Okay. So my rear wheels are just working backwards for me here. Now we'll do a simple fix on that, and that will set that up. Okay. Let's hopefully we can get out there now, and I want to stick in the water. As you can see, of course, those pontoons are not finished. It's all part of the testing process. So why are my back wheels not behaving themselves now? They're set to reverse. I didn't need to do what I just did. I just need to set these. See how they're backwards here? So I just need to set these so they spin the correct direction. All right, there we go. All right, let's hopefully we can get out there and test this out. I want to make sure this floats. I want to make sure that I can open the doors, close the doors. You know, we'll get more complicated once we get actually moving and drag and all that. I'm actually trying to operate this in the water, but you know, we'll see. We have a lot of work to be done on this, so again, the benefit of this being huge is that it really makes it much, much easier for me to be able to do things like, actually, I'm not pressing W as I'm steering. It makes it a lot easier for me to add huge amounts of buoyancy. It makes it easier for me to add, you know, all sorts of elements to try to do things like help it fly because I have so much space to hide stuff. I have really thick wings that can accommodate a lot of space. Um, you know, I just need to get these fundamental elements like what I'm currently working on. You know, make sure this will float properly. I already get it floating properly off screen with the pivots and the pontoons and adding these hips, which, you know, initially I was going to do very long gear coming out of my wings. I saw that as being potentially problematic, and then if I have issues that the gear need to stow right where the engines are, I need to move my engines, so I kind of anticipated some of those problems and kind of got ahead of it. So tail's going to need a lot of shaping. I did a little bit of smoothing here. So essentially what's going to happen is the top is going to be extended all the way through the tail plane, and then there's going to be a little bubble towards underneath the rudder where you'll be able to go down and just look out some windows. Kind of gimmicky, but it'll be fun. I need to do a retractable tail wheel. The mains do retract. And so once I kind of have that set up, it would be very nice if I could spawn this in that massive hangar, but I can't. And so the wingspan's too wide. It would be nice. I could probably XML. Don't you dare go off the end. Please don't go off the end. Talk nice to it. You know, it would be nice if I could spawn it in there. I might be able to edit the workbench in there. I can put that in. That would just be a lot more convenient. I might do that. So I've decided that the tail plane isn't going to be this thin. I'm going to make it a 3x3 tail and fake the rudder maybe. Might not even fake the rudder, but you know, I'll do that, thicken it up a little bit. You know, this is a, you know, the Sunderland is kind of what this is somewhat inspired by. The thing I'm going to do is spoilerons and one-way ailerons. So the aileron will go down underneath the wing, and then a spoiler will come up on top of the wing to do the two factors of that. I need to keep speed up here in order to get it all the way in the water and floating. Should have put a rope anchor on there that in case I had an issue, I could tow it. But, you know, I just want to get it in there. The tail wheel, as long as the tail wheel's touching, that will push me a little bit. I can also raise the mains to get them out of the water. It's actually floating pretty so far. It's still on the ground, so right now I can see that I think I have less buoyancy. Not 100% sure yet. I can pivot glitch the still driving. So yeah, we're definitely see how we're swamped. So this front section is having problems. So let me get this all the way in the water here. Still pushing with the tail, I believe. Okay, so I'm filled with water. All right, so that's fine. Something's up. I'm filled with water. All right, it actually is floating pretty well for the entire main section to be full of water. So as you can see, my cargo area is full of water, so something is not sealed here. So I need to fix this. I need to figure. Oh, you know what it is? I didn't set the. Okay, I know what it is. All right. Let's do this. All right, so we're gonna end it there, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.